everyone keeps talking about this like, oh, a crash is coming, crash is coming. People have been saying that for years, yet here we are. Not only are home prices remaining steady, they're increasing. If you have been looking to buy a home in the Boston market over the past 6 months, the information that I share with you today is not going to come as any surprise whatsoever. But if you are moving to this area from some other part of the country or perhaps even internationally, and you're in a market that is not particularly hot, then this information may be a little eye-opening to you. Brian here, your Boston real estate guru, and in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening here in the Boston market. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So this is an article that I have pulled up from Lending Life from Housing Wire, and it's this is typically meant for loan originators, but in this context it really just goes into a deep dive of the Boston market. So today I'd like to check out the chowder eaters here in Boston. Folks, this looks like the hottest housing market in the country, and that is going to explain a lot here. Over the last year, Boston has registered the highest market action index score on Altos Research, a measure of sales versus inventory with a score of 70. The Metro Boston market is extremely favorable to sellers. So the market action index, it really takes a look at the home prices compared to the inventory, and the higher the market action index, it means the lower the inventory, and it also means the higher the prices. So that is exactly what we're seeing here in the Boston metro market, and it's mostly being fueled by the lack of inventory. So when you look at the inventory stats for Massachusetts, and specifically the greater Boston area, you will see that inventory is down about 25% consistently since the beginning of the year. Now that is a stark contrast to the rest of the country, which is down inventory-wise somewhere in the 10 to 15% range, depending on the market, of course. But nationally, it's an issue, but not nearly as big an issue as it is here in the Boston market. So let's take a look at some of these other markets here. So Boston, Cambridge, you've got 70, San Diego, 69, Baltimore is at 62, San Francisco, 61. That's surprising, actually, because I think a lot of people are moving out of San Francisco. Washington, D.C. is at 60, Sacramento is at 58, Seattle is at 58. So you can just see, looking at some of these numbers, we have way less inventory and a lot more action in our market than we have in many other markets across the country. So single-family homes are selling fast in the Metro Boston market. The median home is only on the market for 21 days, tied for the shortest marketing time in America. Basically, anything under 1.25 million is going to get scooped up in days, Altos data shows. And then they have it broken down here by the market segments. So you can see the days on market for 2.85, 49 days, 21 days for 1.25, 14 days for 799 or less, and then 529 is on there for 7 days. So again, depending on your budget, if you are looking at some of the less expensive options, if you are not willing to waive a whole bunch of contingencies and offer significantly over asking, you're just not going to win that bid. In addition to that, if you're a cash buyer, that's obviously more advantageous to a lot of sellers because there is no mortgage contingency. But be that as it may, there are still opportunities to purchase homes here in this market. I don't want to make you think like there's nothing to buy. There are still homes to purchase. You just have to be aggressive if you are looking to get into a home at this point. So let's keep reading here. That matches the anecdotes from friends and relatives in the area. If you aren't ready to spend, over ask, and waive a lot of contingencies, you aren't likely going to win the bid. Fix and flip investors are also targeting the Boston market, according to research from New Western. Absolutely. So you are seeing, these are not your traditional fix and flip, where it's like just a small group of people that have gotten together and said, hey, let's buy this property and fix it. These are like institutions that are moving into these markets. And what's happening and what I'm seeing firsthand is that there are a lot more developers that are willing to pay retail prices for properties just to tear them down and build a new property in its place. And the reason for that is because Massachusetts, like many other states, is looking for housing density. So if there is a single family home on, say, a 7, 8, 9, 10,000 square foot lot, the town or city would much rather have that single family home torn down and then a minimum two condos put in its place, or multifamily, or something else that provides housing for additional people other than just a family of 4 that would move into this. So you could have like 10 people living in that new house that they're being built. So that is what is driving this, because obviously if you tear down a single family and you end up putting up a two family, now all of a sudden you can, and let's say you sell them separately as condos, now all of a sudden you know, instead of getting, say, $1 million for the single family house, now you can get, say, if with new construction, you can get, let's say in Newton, you can get, I don't know, $1.5 million for each one. So that's $3 million, and you buy a property like a tear down for $1 million, a little over $1 million for just the land itself. It still will make you a ton of money. So that's why developers are really pouring into the market and scooping up these properties that do need a lot of work. All of this makes things especially hard for real estate agents and loan officers. The timeline for clients to get a house is often years, one LO told me. That changes how you market to prospective clients, what products you need to be competitive, blah, blah, blah. This is all about marketing. The overall gist of what I'm saying is here that Boston is a smoking hot market right now. So if you are a seller, you are in a terrific position to sell your home, not only quickly, but also for all the money. Again, you do have to price it competitively in the market. You can't just ask for like ridiculous amounts and just expect someone to pay it. You do have to price it competitively, typically, let's say 3 to 5% below market value. And then in doing so, you're going to generate multiple offers for that property because it is so competitively priced. So anyways, on the flip side, buyers, just because there is a significant inventory shortage doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't places available for sale, right? So you just have to kind of wrap your mind around the fact that it is a very competitive market and you have to step up. That is the biggest challenge for a lot of folks. Some people can, some people can't. But the people who can, who don't, that is an issue that you need to resolve with yourself, because in the meantime, what's going to happen? If you think home prices are going to come down over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or it doesn't even matter. Everyone keeps talking about this like, oh, a crash is coming, crash is coming. People have been saying that for years, yet here we are. Not only are home prices remaining steady, they're increasing. So if you had listened to them last year in 2022, like, oh, home prices are just insane. You know, they're too high. I can't believe homes are selling at these prices. They're never, it's going to come crashing down in 2023. Well, guess what? Interest rates went up, and what happened to prices? They also went up. So if you're sitting on the sidelines, even though you have the means to purchase a home, but you're saying like, oh, I'm going to wait, I'm going to hold off another year, 2 years, 3 years, waiting for the market to quote unquote crash, which it's never going to happen here in Boston. Even during 2008, 2009, we were down about 10%, maybe 15% in some communities versus 45%, 50% in Las Vegas. It's just not going to happen here. So buyers, do yourself a favor. Instead of looking at a home, say your max budget is $700,000. Instead of looking at places that are coming on the market at $699, start at the places that are $499, right? And then gives you some flexibility to go up to $600 if you need to. And chances are you will, right? Because I'm seeing most of the homes that are selling right now are selling for a significant premium over the asking price. Anyone that's telling you like, don't buy now, it's a terrible time, interest rates are high, home prices are high, this is like the worst case scenario, you don't want to buy anything. These people already own their homes for the most part. So why should you be listening to them when, you're in a situation where you're spending, on average, here in Boston, the average rent's about $3,000. So $3,000 times 12 months, that's $36,000 that you're spending every year. Gone, poof, versus buying a home, putting it, building equity, basically giving yourself guaranteed savings over the next 3 years. Does it make any sense whatsoever to continue to sit on the sidelines, even though now's a terrible time to buy a house? Don't listen to them. Do not take the clickbait. Don't do it. A lot of these people have a vested interest in seeing the market tank. They may have short positions. These people are trying to influence the market. But the reality is there are way more people living here, and I'm talking specifically about Boston right now. There are way more people that want to live here than there are homes available for them to buy. That was a little ranty. Apologize for that. But my message is clear. Stay the course. Do the best you can. If your agent is not working hard for you, trying to identify properties before they even come on the market or targeting neighborhoods that you are really interested in, then I highly recommend maybe mixing things up a little bit and seeing if you can find someone who is willing to go do that extra work on your behalf so that you can get into a home that you can live with. That is all. If you enjoyed this video, I just kindly ask that you smash that like button. There we go. There's the thumb. And also click the subscribe down below to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.